CSPC 2024 Day 1. My name is Samira Elsamad, and I will be your MC for the day. CSPC was first introduced in 2004 as a platform where computer science research students can showcase their work, exchange ideas, and network with their peers and industry leaders. On the 20th anniversary of CSPC, we are proud to witness the continued innovation and excellence within this community. We hope all of you continue to push boundaries and make your mark in your respective fields of research. To ensure that all of you, no matter where you are in the world, can join us in real time, today's program is fully virtual. On today's agenda are two insightful workshops led by two of our very own esteemed lecturers, followed by an exciting virtual poster competition. Before we dive into today's program, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Cheah, our Deputy Dean of Research, to deliver the opening remarks.
Hey, thank you, Samira. Good morning to everybody. Associate Professor Dr. Manmeet Kaur, the advisor for the CS Postgraduate Society, and all the lecturers present in the online session, and also to all the organizing committee for CSPC 2024 and all the postgraduate students. Welcome to CSPC 2024, and it gives me great pleasure to be able to give the opening remarks this morning. So today is day one. Day one is the online session, and basically I see it as a workshop day and also a virtual poster day, and it's held online, held online, and therefore I welcome both all those who are on campus as well as all those who are off campus, and also those who are in their respective home countries. At this juncture, perhaps I'd like to remind and also to encourage that participation in CSPC is compulsory as part of the school requirements for you to do your research review. So I hope everybody takes the participation in CSPC seriously. So the workshops today covers two very interesting topics, as I was informed. The first one is on data visualization, and the second one is on the use of AI for research and your studies. So all these are actually very useful for your research, and I thank the speakers, Dr. Nur Intan and also Dr. Shahira, for presenting the sessions. The virtual poster sessions in the afternoon would give the opportunity for those off campus to actively participate. So as part of a healthy research culture in the school, it is important to share your research with others. So we hope that the poster sessions would allow you to do that. And we really encourage active participation and exchange of ideas throughout your studies, not only with your respective supervisors, but also with your fellow friends and colleagues. I hope the sessions today will be fruitful with lots of take-home points. In line with the theme this year, Brett Hive, innovate, dominate, and elevate. I hope that you will do the best to live out the spirit of the theme this year in your research and also in your postgrad studies. Before I end, I would like to thank the CSPC 2024 organizing committee, comprising of the postgraduate students, academic and administrative staff of the school, and all those who are taking the effort to make this event a success. So I wish everybody a fruitful time today. Enjoy the workshops and also the virtual poster sessions. With that, thank you. Back to you, Samira. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cheah, for your kind words and setting the tone of this exciting day ahead. So this is the schedule for today's workshop sessions. We have two workshops, as Dr. Cheah has mentioned. We will start our first workshop, which is the hands-on workshop on Tableau soon. For those of you who have not yet installed Tableau, feel free to scan the following code to download a trial version. Don't miss this chance to enhance your data visualization skills and follow along. You can find the trial version through this QR code or through the link that will be posted in the chat. I just posted it, so go ahead if you haven't already. Our first speaker of the day is Dr. Nur Intan Raihana Ruhaiyem. Dr. Nur Intan earned her PhD in computational bioinformatics and image processing in 2013 from the University of Queensland in Australia. She has been a trainer since 2018 and currently works as a senior lecturer at the USM School of Computer Sciences. Her specializations are image processing, computer vision and visualization. She believes that data visualization has everything to assist human visual perception. The workshop is titled A Hands-On Workshop on Tableau. How do you make sense of data? Visualize it. Participants will be exposed to how to navigate, analyze, and build good dashboards with Tableau. Participants will learn how to connect to data in Tableau Desktop, build, present, and share some useful views, and apply key features along the way. Its intuitive interface and drag and drop features make it relatively easy to learn, especially with this interactive workshop session. I invite Dr. Intan to begin the workshop and share her screen with us, please.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Good morning. Can you hear me? Checking.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. All right. Okay. Assalamualaikum again. Good morning, everyone. So excited to share about this particular workshop. First of all, thank you very much to Dr. Gan watching me to this to handle the workshop 1.5 hour. So 1 hour and a half. So I would try my best to complete the workshop and to benefit you guys. So as we all know, the participants are all research students. Yeah. So we believe that this particular workshop will somehow then benefit you guys lah. So because originally the workshops that I handle all this while data science student who always use this Tableau for their to visualize their results, to visualize their outcomes from the data science project, etc. So I hope that by having this workshop also could benefit you guys in some sort of to better having presenting your results in your thesis. Okay, as Samira has already introduced myself, I've been a senior lecturer for almost 10 years already. So this year will mark the 10th year in CS. And I've been teaching visualizations in almost 5 years already, 4 to 5 years like that. And also been handle workshops since 2018. My current research in image processing and my current students PhD, I hope that everyone is here, so I need to confirm, I need to make sure that all of them are here. Okay, right. So the topic of today, can you hear something? Can the host mute everyone? Okay, right. Okay, I can still hear voices. Okay, right. How do you make sense of data? How do you make sense of data? So usually for students, the problems that you guys having usually okay, after 2.5 years, after 1.5 years, after 2 years, you have been working hard on your experiments, right? And then it is time for you to present your data, but somehow the results, the outcomes not really can be captured successfully by your panels. Until during your presentations, your panels will ask you again and again, what is your results is all about. So it is hard for you to, to convince them that your results is the best, your results is actually acceptable, your results is actually comparable, etc. The comparability, how to say, to prove your results in a way that's not really convincing is actually really hard. You cannot just tell them, oh, okay, this is the result. All those are numerical, all those are numbers, but then you had to find the way to convince your examiners. So I've been examiners, I've been supervisor all this while. I also found out that it's sometimes it's hard to understand what you are going to tell me, what you're going to tell the panels, okay, in the room, because we are different head. We are not, we are not in the same situation. So this is actually, so before we start, so I hope that you could download Tableau. Okay, while waiting for the Tableau to be downloaded, and please install it straight away before we move to the hands-on later on, yeah? Okay, right. So numbers have an important story to tell. They rely on you to give them a clear and convincing voice. Okay, so this is a quotes by Stephen Few. Stephen Few is the data visualization expert. We've been dealing with Stephen Few quite a long time. So Stephen Few has very produced good books all this while. So he said that all we know is that numbers have very important story to tell, but it is up to you. Okay, it's really highly rely on ourselves, okay, on you to give them a clear and convincing voice to convince the audience. So to introduce, okay, as an introduction, to introduce about this, we have two gurus. So usually in data visualization, we've been following or been referring to these two gurus. The first one is Musna. Musna, she was the guru of data visualizations back in 2010, since 2010, if I'm not mistaken. What she said about data visualization is a computer-based visualization systems that provide visual representations of data sets as a whole, okay, designed to help people to carry out tasks more effectively. When you say about helping people to carry out tasks more effectively, means we have to convince your audience, any people that listens to your story, okay, to your numbers, then on to proceed with their job. Okay. After that comes Schneiderman. Schneiderman says that the use of computer-supported, interactive, and visual representations of abstract data in order to amplify the cognitions. Why Schneiderman say that? Because after a while, where big data comes in to the world, right? So we deal with a lot of data, with big data sets, right? It's given that it's numbers, given that alphabets or strings or anything, even images. So we have to make it more accessible, where the interactivity comes in, okay, with the help of the technology to help us to represent visually in order to amplify the cognition. Because why? By having the interactivity only, we can control the view of what we want to see and what we don't want to see, right? Because we control it, we can click it here and there to produce, to represent to the audience, okay? It's basically what it means by amplifying the cognition, right? So the concept is, the first things, we have the idea, okay, to present the results. Okay, we imagine that we need to like somehow visualize in our head. Okay, this is what I want to say. This is what I want to show to the people. But somehow it is not connected, but somehow the informations not really reach your audience. But the idea is that to present the result to make your audience understand. But in reality, what are the common issues that we have usually? So the common issue as students, I know that many of you figure it out, not really easy to make your audience convinced. Why? They found it difficult to understand, but somehow, and somehow you could find it, okay, at the end of the session, the questions that not really related to the results. They will ask, okay, back in chapter 1, chapter 2, something like that, okay, about the data set itself. Because why? Because the story is not really reach their head, not really reach their understanding. So this is actually the reality that many students found it hard. Okay, so what is this data visualization is all about actually? First, understanding. First thing first, you need to make sure that you understand the data, the methods, and also the results, okay? To make sure that you understand what you are actually deal with. From the beginning of your methodology, let's say your methodology say that, okay, method 1, okay, that's actually fulfill your objective number 1. And then the outcome of objective number 1 maybe will become the input for your objective number 2. So these are the understanding that you yourself need to make sure that you really understand until you can story back to your supervisor at least. Okay, until your supervisor also can understand, or your colleagues, or your team member, etc. Right? So until you understand that, then you can story back to other people. Okay, after that, you can do the explorations, exploring that makes sense of the numerical research results. Okay, explore how to make sure that what you understand, what you have in hands, to make sure that your audience can understand it. Right? Third things is materializing. Okay, to materialize through maybe one of the ways is that through the visualization tools. Okay, for example, through the charts, graphs, or even dashboard, yeah, and also even through the storytelling way. Okay, so the importance of visualizing data. All this while we talk about visualization, what you can understand. So I know that usually when you are not coming from data science background, you would just imagine, all these are about charts. No, okay, it is not only about charts. It's actually for you to communicate the result. Visualizing data is basically an essential part of communicating messages and also the results to any form of audience. Okay, not only from all the experts. Okay, we presume that all the panels are all experts, but you have to find a way on communicating the messages or results to any form of audience, okay, regardless their backgrounds. And in effect, on the other hand, ineffective visualizations of data can communicate a very misleading message. This is why you mislead the understanding to your audience. That's number one. So building skills in data visualization usually can help you to understand and also see the important results in other people's tables, in other people's graphs, and also maps. Okay, you will learn how to understand their results, understand their tables, graphs, etc. So this is actually the addition to enable you to create informative visualizations of your own, right? So after somehow, once you know how to visualize data, to know about the importance of data visualizations, you know how to create. You use only one color. Why you use so many colors? Why the bar chart is also close ones? So all these things, you will try, you will time to time. The aim of the particular visualizing data, the data visualization is actually to provide to help you understand how to say the principles behind making a good data visualizations. It's not like you just go and visualize it. You just press any tables automatically do it for you. You just, you know, highlight the tables and then press any graph, it will automatically produce. It's not simple as that. You need to know to learn certain principles in order for you to produce a good graph and also chart. Okay, to avoid the misleading graphs. Okay, so this guide is actually intended to anyone who wish to develop data visualizations and also reporting skill. But I'm trying to control the how to say, to put a boundary of this workshop, because we only have 1.5 hours, and also my audience today are all from research background. So basically, the importance of visualizing data for you guys is to understand and see the important results and communicate message and also the result, to make sure that you yourself understand first before you can deliver it to your audience. Right. These are some of the principles of data visualization. Some of them are overlap, but anyway, so at least you know what are the principles in data visualizations. Okay, many books have different ideas, but this, I find it, this is the best to be followed for a good data visualization. What is the first one? Effective, edible, informative, tidy, accessible, consistency. We will look on this one by one. Right. So, okay, so this is the example. Who can say this one is effective? If it is not, why we say that? Now we try to critique the graph, this pie chart first. Okay, you can type in the chat so that we could discuss it. Swikwa say okay. What about the rest? Not effective, why? Okay, can Han say all are using similar colors? Okay, similar colors, okay, that's acceptable. What about the rest? Not. Okay, please give your reasons why you say it is not effective one. Hard to read, okay? Other than that, hard to read is because of why? Because of the font is too small, or what? Not understand the pie charts lah. Oh, monocolor, not effective. It use monocolor. No ratio shown. Okay, that's also one thing. I thank you. Each country should has different color. I think that's also be nice. Okay, small bar, small font. Bars, you mean the portions, the portions of this pie chart. Okay, the portions would be, is actually reflects the percentage lah. The legend is too long. Yeah, because of that so many countries listed there. No specific percentage yet. So lacking of information. Okay, so now you're trying to develop yourself in criticizing the shared pie chart. Yes, okay, you are right. This is the example of bad pie chart, the unnecessary pie chart. Okay, so in data visualizer, we say this one is unnecessary pie chart. Why? Okay, to be able for us to understand necessary chart and also unnecessary one is that now the objective of you to make sure that your audience know how many percentage of sample size ESS in 2018. Okay, refer back to the title there. Yeah. Okay, percentage that carried by each of these country, isn't it? But then when you put up this particular pie chart with the monochrome color, whatever, and also there's no percentage or legends or lacking of legends, etc. So it's hard for you to see it. Okay, but make sure that what is the objective that you want to deliver to your audience. Meaning to say, let's say, for example, you would like to just highlight the highest and the lowest sample sizes. Okay, highest and the lowest sample sizes. So meaning to say, you can just having a simple table by just highlighting only the highest and also the smallest. So this is the main thing. Okay, when you are not sure, you are confused on what you want to deliver to your audience. So this is what happened. Okay, you think, this pie chart is so nice and it looks like so complex and professional. So this is, but it is not effective. Right, so now let's look to the next example. Is this readable or not? What say you? Readable. The second principle. Okay, anyone? Is this bar chart is readable? Can be read effectively or not? All right, no, okay, why? Not readable effectively, not readable, not much. Why is any reasons on why it is not readable? Is better to be sorted? Maybe. Okay. Later we'll go through to sort or not to be sorted. Okay. Why? Again, same color. Okay, same color. Small classes captions. Okay, thank you, Fadil. Can hang again. There's no difference between each bar. Can be sorted based on the regions with different color. Right. Okay. So thank you very much. Really active. Even morning class. Okay. If you see that. Actually, because to me better, isn't it? And the positions of the bar charts is actually play crucial roles for us to understand. Okay, so once it's being sorted, it's much easier to read without excluding any of the bar. Okay, without excluding any of the bar. Okay, from here, when we see that the list of the countries over here is actually better to be read in this view as compared to the previous one, right? Because why? Because the font is much clearer than before. Okay, now, what about this one, informative? What about this example? Come on. Okay, is this good, informative enough or not? Okay, what about this one? Informative or not? So we see that relationship between the human values and conservation and openness to change. I think that's region here. Got regions and got approved, got and the sample size, and countries. Informative, I think it is, isn't it? Because we can have a lot of information over here. What about the rest? Do you think it is informative enough? Okay. Informative but hard to interpret. Okay. For your informations, when there's too many variables, it is not really a good chart. Why? Because when you would like to put many variables, but there is no connections between them. No connections means that it is hard for us to understand. Let's say if you see here, there's actually different types of different icons that used to as the data points, isn't it? So it's hard to differentiate which one is actually which. So it's not really informative. So in here, it's a much better for us to control the view. Okay, let's say if you want to go to inform your audience about the region itself only, so that is where we only focus on the regions. But if you want to add attribute, let's say the size of sample size, right? So we can add another thing is that different size of this plotting also can. But this one is on how us to control the view of the chart. Okay, what about this one? The left one is a normal looking graph. So if you see there, okay, a normal looking graph. Okay, imagine that's on the left side, okay? Only focus on the left side. So this is actually the example of results on the difficulty for the colorblind On the right-hand side is what it looks like to a colorblind person because they cannot differentiate between the red and also green. So also make sure that to take into account about the colorblind person. While other colorblind people cannot really see, okay, the difficulty that they have, you know, so the choice of the colors also make it is important for us to make sure that the graphs is good for all people. Okay, so now let's move on to the consistency. So this is the example of the consistency. On the left side, we can say that it is less than consistent because why? The sorting wise is not really good when you will have it really difficult for us to see. Okay, whereas the right hand side is really consistent. Okay, so these are all the examples that we can share with you about the principle of visualization. So now it's time for us to think about the attribute types. Okay, the attribute types. So all this while we have to make sure that, so usually when I conduct the data visualizations class, we will introduce to you the attribute types that say they are numerical or quantitative. Okay, quantitative is either can be ordered or unordered one. Okay, and then the and also categorical types. Okay, there are two types. Basically, there are two types of numerical or quantitative, and the other one is the categorical types, which is the subjective one. So let's have a look on this. Okay, why it is actually useful to identify the attribute types. Okay, in what way types? The question is, attribute types can help us. Okay, can help us to choose available or appropriate design of our visualizations. Okay, it is not like a trial and error because otherwise you will not stop by designing your charts. Okay, so this is also one of the principle, one of the key for us to know the attribute type first before we can go and choose what are the charts that are available or appropriate to present the data. That's number one. So the types of attribute would tell us the kind of generic operations that we can do to the data value. Okay, either it is ordered, okay, can be ordered or unordered, mathematical operations or mathematical operations or not, or you want to do any filtrations, you want to do any filter, or aggregating the data, let's say aggregations is like mean, variance, etc. Okay, all these are statistical values or calculations, but it also can help us to choose the effective encodings. Encodings means visualizations or charts. Okay, somehow we'll just use encodings, visualizations, or charts. All these are actually meaning same. Okay, so we all these data values effectively. Okay, it's either you can explain, you can explore, and also you need to confirm it. So these are all the reasons why it is useful to identify attribute types. But above all, the reasons or the importance of identifying the attribute type is first to constrain our design decisions. Okay, because if not, you will just change and change again and change again until you figure out, oh, okay, this is not so good, this is not bad, this is good. So this is actually what takes longer time for you to decide. So by having to know the attribute types, you will constrain your design decision. That's number one reason. The second one is to choose more effective visualizations. Of course, after we have figured out what types of attributes that we have in hands to be presented, of course, we will have maybe 2, 3, or even 5 encodings to be dealt with. But among these 5 or 4 or 3, you would choose a more effective one in order for you to deliver a better understanding that actually reflects the objective or methods or whatever that you want to communicate to your audience, right? Okay, now, example of line chart and categorical attributes. Okay, let's have a look on the left-hand side here. Okay, it shows a line chart with the x-axis showing the hour. Okay, showing the hour 3, 5, 7, and then the y-axis one showing the total digit, the numerical value lah. Okay, something that changing over time is actually really appropriate or suitable to have the line chart. Because why? Because we want to see the changes over time. Okay, what about the right hand side? So the right hand side is showing something that the right hand side is showing it is actually basically inappropriate because it is unordered attribute. Because why? Okay, here is showing to us the bureau. Okay, the bureau, Manhattan, etc. All this bureau is unordered attribute. When it is unordered attributes, line chart totally not a good choice. Why? Because say after sometimes you change the positions of this bureau. Okay, so the line chart will different, isn't it? So the rate of change is actually not important anymore. I mean, it's meaningless. Okay, the rate of change is meaningless. So line chart is actually when you are focusing on showing the rate of change. Okay, the rate of change of something. So by having the one is actually very appropriate when you have the changing over times. Okay, the timing value. So all this reasoning is actually influenced by the characteristics of the attributes that we have abstracted earlier. Okay, the attribute that we have abstracted earlier, ordered, unordered, and also the categorical, etc. Okay. Okay, now let's have a look on the bar chart here. Example of bar chart. It shows the categorical value. If you notice that the categorical value is attribute can be ordered arbitrarily. Okay, where you have same results, same result as the previous slide. Okay, we have the bureau, Staten Island, etc., etc. It doesn't matter where, if you want to put it left side or the right side, it doesn't matter. But then we can say that bar chart is really, really good for categorical attribute when you have at least one categorical attribute, so that bar chart is meaningful lah. In fact, that it is actually appropriate lah to use the bar chart to show the categorical data. Okay, in each of the bar, as the heights of it will show the frequency of the quantity. Now let's think together. Okay, about the comparison charts for effective data visualizations. Okay, I'm just show you only two examples of categoricals and also ordered data. Okay, what about if you have to compare your charts? Okay, if you want to do any comparisons or you want to convince these data are all comparable. Okay, many of you do this, right? You have these kind of results, right? Okay, to have the comparisons. Okay, what are the comparison charts for effective data visualizations? Okay, all this while maybe we will end up with a normal table, or maybe you will end up with a 2 or 4 bar graph without just a normal 2 bar graph or 4 bar graph, and then you have very long analysis below the charts, okay, where your examiner will always ask again and again and again, okay, by referring to the 4 bar graph. Because why? Because they cannot really capture what is comparisons that you want to tell us. Okay, so now let's have a look on this comparison charts for effective data visualizations. Have a look on this. The comparison charts for effective data visualizations. That look, number one, pie chart. Okay, so pie chart, as known as comparison circle lah. So usually when people say pie chart, some people, some database people would say it's comparison circle chart. In most common data visualization technique, we use this a lot, okay, to compare the sizes or percentages of different categories within a whole data set. If you look at this, pie chart usually will have not more than like 10 categories like that, because otherwise it is hard for us to see. Okay, like for example, in here we only have 5 categories only. Okay, the primary use of this, if you want to showcase part to whole comparison, okay, part to whole comparisons, so this is a good chart for you to use. Second is to illustrate the proportions, okay, that have the most and also the least importance at a glance, if you have that. Okay, if not, you may just end up by saying, oh, okay, all these 5 categories have almost similar right? So it is can be seen at a glance. Your audience can see it directly. Okay, that is actually one of the objective. So say it again. Okay, refer back to your objective of what you want to tell your audience. Right? Okay, third one is when you have limited categories, like I said, not more or less 10 like that. Okay, when you have limited categories to represent that deal with percentage or numbers, this is the best chart for comparisons. Second, bar chart. A bar chart or bar graph, say, the simplest chart type to compare different categorical data. You can create visually appealing bar charts that can be plotted both horizontal or vertical. Okay, horizontal or vertical, like what you see on the slide over here. So most commonly, these charts consist of x-axis that represent the categories, okay, while the y-axis represent numerical value, etc. Okay, and vice versa. So rectangular bar represent the separate categories, as we know, that are represented in different color to make the visual appealing graph. Okay, so what are the primary use case for this bar chart then? First, when you want to illustrate a comparison of variables across different subgroup of data. So see that the left-hand side and right-hand side have different values, right? The left-hand side is showing only the comparison, let's check, okay, the percentage of each of these category. Whereas on the right-hand side, it has more attributes, where it has 3 attributes. We have a different group of the color and also groups of the years. Okay, so more attributes on this group bar chart as compared to the left-hand side. Okay, now we continue with the primary use case for bar chart to analyze and compare numerical data across large categories or groups. Okay, one good thing of bar chart is that we can also reproduce it in a group bar chart or stack bar chart. That's actually another level of presentations, but then there's also limitations on it. Okay, but then there's also another way of doing it by having binning or grouping the data. And that's actually we need more classes on that to learn on how to group to figure out the best way on grouping or binning. Okay, the last one is if you want to monitor changes over time, particularly if the amount is significant. Bar chart is also good for to see or monitor change time. Okay, monitor over time. And also it can be combined with line graph, or later we have that example. Okay, histogram. It is almost similar to bar chart. Sometimes people will confuse histogram and also bar chart. So this is actually a popular chart simply created to compare numerical variables where it outlines quantitative data such as height, weight, temperature, etc. So in such representations, the intervals or the bins are represented by the chart's x-axis and also the frequency of the data points. Each bin is represented by the y-axis. So let's have a look on the primary case, okay, primary use case of this histogram. First, when you want to show the frequency of numerical data within a specific interval, okay, within specific interval where you have here, it shows here interval of 10, okay, 10, 20, 30. So when you have this specific interval, histogram is the best, okay. That's number one. Number two is when you want to analyze whether the process changes from one period to another period. And the third one is it is useful when you deal with data set that consists of large number of data points. If you notice that is almost similar to the two primary use case of bar charts. Okay, it's just the difference is only on the first primary use case where histogram when you have to deal with specific intervals. Now let's have a look on this line chart. It is a visual representation that displays information as a series of data points that connect, single or multiple continuous line. In this example, it shows only one single line. You can also have multiple continuous line as well. Typically, the x-axis will represent the categories equally, while the y represent the numerical measurements. Okay, x-axis also can represent the timeline. Okay, which is the ordered numerical. Okay, what is the primary use case for this line chart then? Okay, it is very useful to summarize the trends and also to monitor the fluctuations to make your future prediction, etc. Okay, the second one is easily illustrate positive or negative trends, and the third one is to provide the insights to stakeholders for decision making. Maybe this one is not really related to your work, to your research, but maybe somehow you may consider this if you are dealing with any timing values. Okay, now we move on to the donut chart. So more similar to the pie chart. This one is a donut. Okay, the name itself gives you a clear picture of what a donut chart resembles. So it is essential a circle chart with a hole in the center. Why is it important actually? So here is the example of the donut chart. Okay, illustrate the percentage of share the current operating systems. Okay, share the current operating system. When it is appropriate to use this donut chart and where to use the pie chart. Okay, let's have a look on the primary use case. The first one, it is useful when there is a small number of categories. Okay, look at the second primary use case. When you want to emphasize the relationship between central category. Central category here is the operating system market share, and it has the sub categories there, right? So this is where the donut chart is appropriate as compared or rather than the pie chart. Pie chart is when you have very different categories, okay, different categories. Okay, the third use case for the chart is if you want to highlight the main categories while you still provide visual representations of the whole data sets, okay, of the whole data set. Okay, so now let's have a look on the overlapping area chart. Overlapping area charts when you have more attributes. Okay, all this while we talk about or dealing with two attributes only for the x-axis and so y-axis, right? So two attributes. Now when you have more than two or beyond two attributes, maybe three, maybe four, maybe beyond that. Okay, but we limit here to 3 and 4 only lah. All right, because we're not dealing with any 3D or 3D visualizations. Okay, I will just control this on 2D visualizations only. So this is basically the mixed versions of bar chart and also line chart. Okay, like bar chart, it has a horizontal and vertical axis, etc. So this overlapping area chart, okay, overlapping area chart has data as series of points that connected horizontally using lines from the left to the right. Okay, below the line, it shades, okay, it shades the color, shades of transparent color. There's a reasons why, because we need to make sure that they are actually the values that actually carried by that particular color. For example, on the blue side here is actually covered from 2017 until 2022. So all this. So that is why we need to use the criteria of transparency. Okay. For instance, the type of comparison graphic can showcase the dominance of the different wildlife populations in here. So this one is showing the wildlife populations, bear, dolphin, whales, etc. Okay, so what is the primary use case of using this overlapping area chart? It is not just appropriate to any, it's not really not applicable to all attributes. Okay, so primary use case, when you want to compare multiple data series and also show overall trend. Okay, at the same time, you want to also show the overall trend. Okay, see, when you want to compare multiple data as well as to see or to show the overall trend. Sorry, that's number one. Second primary use case is if you have multiple data series. Okay, series because this one is also considered as line chart, kan? Okay, line chart. Okay, multiple data series, which is you have the time series data with part to whole relationships as well. Okay, that part to whole relationships means that from here you want to say, oh, okay, from here look that the number of what compared to whales, and the least maybe dolphins. So you may add on, percentage or the number itself, okay, as the legends, or to put on top of this chart to make sure that, okay, to increase the understanding to your audience. Okay, so that's number two. And the third one is it is best to use when you want to illustrate a change of trends among different data sets within a graph. Okay, remember this overlapping area chart is combinations, mixed versions of bar chart and also line chart. So that is why the primary use case is quite wide, okay, wider as compared to bar chart alone and also line chart alone. Okay, so now, okay, please take note that overlapping multiple data series can lead to complexity. Okay, so this is quite dangerous if you want to choose this overlapping area chart. Why? Because it can lead to complexity and also visual clutter if you have many categories. Okay, if you have many categories. In this example, I only have 3 categories. Okay, wildlife populations of bear, dolphin, and also whales. But if you have more, what if you have more? So it will brings the visual clutter. It will produce the visual clutter. And in that situation, you need to use a simple line chart to show data comparison. Okay, simple line chart to show the data comparison. Okay, now we move on to combo chart. Okay, combo chart is also referred to hybrid chart. Okay, sometimes we call it hybrid chart. Brings together 2 distinct chart types into one powerful visual representation. So this chart can be designed using single or maybe 2 data set, but both data need to share common traits. Okay, share common traits. In here, it shows the numerical values lah. On the left side, it's the common traits. Okay, what are the primary use case to use this combo chart? The first one, if you want to illustrate one-to-one comparison between the 2 different chart types. First type is the profit, and this example, it shows a profit, and second one is showing the expense. Okay, so when you want to illustrate one-to-one comparison, that's number 1. Number 2 use case is when you need to show both categorical data, okay, which is represented represented by the bar chart, and continuous data which are represented by the line chart. Okay, by the line chart. So when you have to show both categorical and also continuous data, okay, more suitable. And the second primary use case is to display complex data patterns that cannot be effectively shown using only single chart. Okay, because during your presentations, of course, you wanted to summarize your findings, isn't it? Okay, so to reduce the number of charts on your graph, or maybe to make your analysis become complex or become really critical, so combo chart is appropriate for you to have. Okay, now, what is the take-home note before we end with this how to say sharing session, okay, and move to hands-on session? I wanted to think on what are the take-home notes, okay, that you get from here. Okay, let me just share with you. Okay, it has been suggested that one picture or figure, table, or even should be for every 1,000 words in a manuscript. So this is actually research by Berkey and Moore 2012 in data visualization. So quite extensive research that been done by the team in 2012. So they suggest that in every 1,000 words, you are suggested to have at least one picture or one figure or tables or graph, okay, in your manuscript, given that it's in your thesis or maybe in your journal publications. Okay, it's better to have that. So this is actually a really, really good findings. So if you figure out that the good journal paper, conference paper, or any, any write-up, even your results analysis, it is actually can capture the audience understanding faster when you have more picture, figure, or table after one after 2 to 3 page like that, because otherwise your reader or your audience will become boring to read the manuscript. So the research finding, this one is actually a really, really nice one, where they suggested to have one figure for every 1,000 words in manuscript. So meaning to say 1,000 is more or less 2-3 pages like that of the writing. Okay. Okay, so now we will move to hands-on Tableau. Right. So I hope that every one of you already download the trial versions one. Okay. Let me stop this one. Okay, thank you, Samira, for the link. To those who haven't downloaded it, please download it. So we'll go one by one. Yeah, it's 10:05. So we'll at 10:45. Right. Oh, okay. Okay. So now, so this is the UI. So I hope that you can see. Okay. So connection. Okay, when we want to do the connection, so we go to Microsoft Excel, because we've already got the data sets, right? Okay, you go to the file, connect. Okay, because you need to download the files. You need to download the spreadsheets that I've shared with you just now. That's sample superstorm. Okay, while waiting, I'm going to share with you another data sets that we're using later. There's 2 data sets to use here. Okay, I hope that we have enough time to do it. Okay, so there's 2 data sets. The first one and second one. The first one is called data. What's the name? Bookshop. Okay, data bookshop, and another one is Amazing Mart. Okay, first one is bookshop, and so for this first data, for this first one, so let us try. Okay, so look here on the left hand. So we have these 3 tabs here. So these are actually the sheets that we have in the data set. If you open the Excel file, you would see that the 3 sheets or the 3 tabs in the data. Okay, the 3 sheets, the orders, okay, namely orders, people, and return. How we can see the data in here by viewing the data, you look at the icon there, view data, just simple click, it will show to us the data. Okay, without opening the Excel. So now we can see it on the go. over here, right? So the categories, so rows is here, the items, and the columns means the fields, okay? So rows are the items, and this one is the fields or the categorical part, the attributes. Okay, how many attributes that we have here? 21, okay? The numbers of columns are actually the numbers of attributes that we have, but of course, we don't use all. Okay, for data science students, they might use all, but for this one, this is just a purpose for me to introduce how to use this Tableau lah. Okay, about people, 2 fields and only 4 rows. Okay, so the items not too much. Okay, and also the return. Okay, so now, whenever we want to use the data, so we could choose from one of the or sheets over here. So let's say we want to deal with order first. Okay, anything that we want to use, any data that any tables lah, we will say any tables that we want to use, we need to activate it first. Okay, how? By just click and then drag and drop on this particular canvas. Okay, so when you drop it in this particular canvas, okay. So now whenever we drag any tables that we want to use, so meaning to say we are now ready to go with the worksheet. See, the UI here is almost similar to any BI tools lah, I think, and also Excel tools, right? Excel software. So when we have drag the orders here, it shows to us on the bottom right side, you would see the table again. See, the table again. It shows it's on bottom here. Right. So now we are ready to go with working with the worksheet. So we are now, at the moment, we are only use the orders table. Okay, orders table. Now we go to sheet number 1. Okay, sheet 1. Now we are activating the sheets already. Okay. So click on the sheets here. Okay, at the bottom part, you will see sheet 1, right? So you click there, then it will move to us on this particular UI. So I hope that you see the same UI. Okay, good. Right. Look at the left-hand side over here. Okay, Tableau has the ability on identifying what are the categorical attributes. Okay, the types of the attributes. This one is categorical with the blue icon, with the blue icons, and at the bottom part are all the numerical attributes. Okay, or quantitative attribute, the discount, the profit, quantity, and also sales with the green icon. Okay, with the green icon, even like the hashtag or any icon, but it will color with green icon. Okay, if you look at latitude here, yeah, with the italic font, so this one are basically automatically generated by Tableau. These are not in your data set, but it generated automatically for you. Okay, let's say the count. Okay, let's say the count, longitude, latitude is why? Because it has the values of, because it has the city, country, etc. All this geography, the places, okay. So that is why it can be generated by just call the server. Okay, so this is the view, the UI here. Okay, on the right side here, the big canvas here. So this is where the graph will be produced. Okay, now we have the column shelf and the rows shelf. Let's say we want to see okay. Now we get the profit and you just double click on it. Okay, by simply double click first. Okay, so Tableau will identify the best row to be fit in, which means profit, when you double click, it will go straight to the row shelf. Okay, row shelf. And if you notice that it's only one values. Okay, it's only one values there, which is the sum, because it's already aggregated to us. But don't worry, because this is just Tableau functions to help us identify lah. Okay, and then get the subcategories, from the table, and then double click, and it will straight away go to the columns. Okay, so directly when Tableau identify, first is the categorical attribute and one numerical attributes. So the best suited for this particular chosen attributes is bar chart. Okay, how do we know? So let's say, oh, I don't like this bar chart because it's a very simple one. I can just create it through using Excel. Okay, so now, okay, wait a moment. Okay, on the right side here, at the top right here, you see the show me button. Show me button. If you notice that, why is so slow? Show me button, and then you just click. Right. Click that. Okay. And you will see there's numbers of available. Okay. There's number of available that being highlighted. Okay. Available, I would say, graphs or charts or recommended charts lah. Okay. Recommended charts for the chosen attributes. What's the chosen attributes? They are categorical, means that the subcategory, and also the profit one. Profit one is the numerical kan. So in here, if you notice that on the bottom here, it says, oh, okay, bar charts, horizontal bar charts is actually suitable because you choose 0 or more dimension. Dimensions means the categorical, okay, dimensions or the categorical. So it just use different terms here. And the second one is you choose one or more measure. Okay, if you notice on the bottom part over here, the horizontal bar. Okay, so that is why it has this. Okay, so if let's say you just want to proceed with this horizontal bar and you close the show me button there. Okay, but let's say we are not really satisfied with this. Usually in visualizations, principles also, by using in the color principle, whenever you have negative values, whenever you have a negative value, we need to also use different values to make sure that negative values has different color as compared to the positive values. That is actually the color rules in visualizations. So what we need to do is that, okay, what we want to make, okay, which attributes that we want to have a different color code, which is the profit, right? This one is positive and this one is negative, isn't it? So how we can do that? You drag the profit onto the color marks. If you have, look at these marks here. Okay, drag it on the color palette. Okay, so now it's suggested to us. This one is the default color. Okay, the orange and also the blue. Okay, orange and blue. So we know that the oranges will is actually for negative values. Okay, presenting negative values, and the blue quotes one is presenting the positive values. But maybe you are not really satisfied with the orange one, to change it. How? By clicking on this color legends. Okay, if you see on the right hand side over here, right? Okay, click on this triangle. Edit color. This one is automatic. Maybe we can change to the red, blue diverge. Okay, choose the red, blue diverging, right? Red, blue diverging. And you can click OK, but I'm not going to click OK just yet. Okay, because a good bar chart, if you want to control the view of the numerical, if you have a very big range of the numbers, right? And then the labeling maybe become confused when you have a very tiny numbers of labeling, let's say 17,000 or 51,100 and something. So that is not that good, okay, for the labeling wise. Okay, what we can do is that instead of beside changing the color code, the color diverge, with red and blue diverging, we can also click on this advanced button where you want to have the start and the end of the number, right? End of number, so that the legend, the color legend that you have here, not showing 17,725 instead, okay? Instead, it will show start with highest number one, 18K. Much clearer, isn't it, for the color, for the legend, and end with maybe 56K or maybe 60K, 60K, like that, okay? And apply and okay. Right? So we have the different color diverge. Oh, I think the internet is so slow. I'm actually using the Wi-Fi. And anyway, it's still not showing what what is supposed to show right now. Ay. I will try to use my data instead. Showing at your screen actually. It's stuck, isn't it? Thanks,
Yeah,
Samira.
we see the added colors.
Oh, sad. Let me just use my data. I hope that becomes faster. Hopefully, it will be faster. Okay, so now, so it is show. I think you missed the step there. Okay, so now look back at this legend, figure legend over here, the sum profit color legends, right? Okay, click on this icon, the triangle icon, and then edit colors. Okay, you will go to this edit colors, then you can change different diverge. So I choose this red blue diverging because usually when we want to show any negative value, we use red, right? Okay, so you are actually free to choose anyone. Okay, so now after we have done with selecting the color diverge, next is you click on the advanced button. Okay, click on the advanced button where here we want to set up different color legend value. Okay, for this particular legend. Just now, the beginning we have 17K something, right? So the number is not so good to be shown. Okay, so that we want to simplify the number by clicking on the start and end and a new, okay, putting a new start and end value. So when it has negative 17K, so the highest number, the highest one, the closest highest one is 18K, and the closest highest for positive value as the end of the value here is 60K. So this is how we can reset the number, right? Then click apply and then okay. Okay, click apply and then okay. So you will see a new. So this one is not effect. Okay, this is only the legend. It's not effect, but it will give more effective way lah for your audience lah to see. Oh, okay. The least one is at 18K and the highest one is 60K. So just to reset the diverge. Okay, so now what you can see here is a more intuitive, okay, a better bar charts lah, I would say. Okay, a better bar chart as compared to the previous one. Okay. Okay, so now we want to add another, say another attributes. Okay. Okay, another attribute. Let's have a look on segment. Okay, click on the segment and then put it on the color. Okay, drag and then drop on the color marks. Here is where it was suggested the stack bar chart automatically. Why? Because we add in another one attribute. So one attribute goes to column shelf. Second attribute goes to rows shelf. And the third one, the third attribute goes to the colors marks. Okay, to the colors. This one is not marks, it's actually the color segment. Okay, the color channel, sorry. Okay, the color channel. So when we have this beyond two attributes, this is the way where Tableau will suggest to us of the map. Okay, again, if you want to change the color code, it's up to you by editing the color, right? So by having this, we know that we have produced, or we have presenting different three different charts. Okay, so now name it as chart. Save. We go to another worksheet. So you now click on new worksheets. Okay. We'll try with different charts now. Okay, get the state and then put it on the rows, on the row shelf. Okay, so what we see here is on the single list of the states. Okay, click on the show me button and click on the map. Okay, use the map. It is 49 unknown. Why? Because the locations we need to edit it. Okay, so by default, it shows to us the country name is Malaysia. It's S. Okay, fix to US. Then we go direct. It will call the Mapbox OpenStreetMap server. Okay, so that is why we see the latitude, longitude will automatically generated. Okay, because it called the map server. Okay, that is why also on the columns and also the row shafts here is actually calling the longitude and latitude values. Okay, in numerical attribute, as a numerical attributes, isn't it? Okay, so the state here is actually the details that being generated. Okay, details here is the name of the state. Okay, name of the states within the US. Okay, so this is how we are actually editing the maps. Okay, even if you want to add in any other attributes also can. Maybe you want to get the maybe categories. Okay, if you want to click on the category, if you want to see what are the categories that actually fall into different states within the US, so this is the simplest one. Okay, just double click on the category, but you need to go through one by one. Okay, you need to go through one by one. This is not what you want to see. Okay, instead of this category, put it in the row. Click this category from the row, drag and put it on the color channel. Click on the color channel. So instead of having 3 maps, you are only have 1 map with different color code for different categories. Okay, different categories here having furniture, office supplies, and also technology here lah. Okay, so this is how you are playing around with the maps. Okay, with the maps graph. Okay. Let's say in here, we wanted to see the labels, maybe the category, and then put it on the labels channel. So it will show to us directly lah, instead of like this. Okay, instead of like this without the label. You only know the labeling. We only know the category name of each of the state by looking at one by one over here. Instead of that, you labeling it one by one. Every single state with the category labeling. Okay, so it just shows to us. Same goes to the any numerical values lah. Okay, any numerical values that you have. Okay, let's say you want to see the profit. or sales, then put it in the label. So it will label each of the state with the sales and also the category name. Right, so that is where you have this map. Oops. And then enter. So, okay. So now, save it first. Okay. I'm going to show to you, still have time. We are creating new workbook. Okay, just now we have already done with one workbook. Now we are creating new workbook. Okay, connect to different data sets. Amazing Mat.edu. Okay. Okay, so we have different types of data set right now. Okay, because this one is a better data set because I wanted to combine two different tables. Okay, two different tables in here. Okay. Okay. Now we get this list of order. Just now we know that if we want to use that particular table for our processing, our visualizations, we need to drag and activate it in the canvas, right? Okay, so now under list of order, if you view the data, we have around 10 fields. Okay, we have around 10 fields and more than 4,000 rows. Okay, more 4,000 items. Okay, more or less we have a lot of data over here. Okay, but we don't know yet what we want to do. But we here is actually to cut the story short, we want to actually connect this particular table with the other table actually. Okay, with the other table. Let's have a look on this order breakdown. What order breakdown has? Okay, 8 fields. We have the category, order ID, product item, so somehow it shares similar ID. Okay, it shares similar ID here and sales target as well. Okay, so now we are connecting this list order and also order breakdown by just drag and drop on this particular table, and the linkage will be done automatically. Okay, so it will create the relationship between the list of order and also order breakdown through order ID. Okay, so the related field by default it called through order ID. Okay, so now, so by having this orange color to link, okay, the link is an orange color, so meaning to say you are now ready to proceed with the combinations data. Okay, with the combinations of data. So now we go to this worksheet. Okay, if you notice that these new combinations data, okay, we call this as data blending lah. Okay, it's blend together, but the list of the attributes here not blended. Okay, it will list according to the tables. According to the tables, let's say list of order here, we have list of the attributes or categorical parts or dimensions data, and also numerical data. And this one is the next table, which is order breakdown. We have list of dimensions data as well as numerical data. Okay, so and the list will go on. If you connect to more than more tables, so the list will become longer. So just to make sure that you are not confused with the data. So this is actually the simplest relationship that we can do. Okay, the simplest relationship that we can do. What we say here is that any relationships that we do like this is actually just a simple what we call it a default methods lah. Okay, a default methods. Okay, methods that can be used in most instances, basically, including across tables with different levels of details. Let's say different level of details, meaning to say one tables has only up until region. Okay, in regards to the geographical values, right? Region. But another table may be up to countries or district. So these are what we call different levels. Okay, different levels. So the relationships, the default relationships, like what we did just now, is very flexible and and also adapt to a structure of any analysis that you want to do. Okay, whereas for blending, you are actually blend data, but then you are not creating a new data source. You are just doing it by blend the data by only blending the data sets. Okay, let's have a look on what is actually meant by this blend. Okay, so now go back to the data source. Okay, go back to the data source, click on this Tableau icon. Okay, and then go to the Microsoft Excel again, click on the same data set because we are actually wanted to blend a different table from the same file. If you want to do different table, different file also can, but in this particular example, I just wanted to use a different, the same file, which is the Amazing Mart EU. And you click open. Okay. Okay, so now in this data, it's in this, when you are activating data Amazing Mart EU, data number 2. Just now it's data number 1. Okay, what happened to the previous connections that you did? Okay, the previous relationship that you already done. That one is actually behind it. Okay, the current one is actually you are, how to say, you are actually dealing with different different relationship. Okay, so now we go to this target. Okay, go to this target. So we have this target, sales target. Okay, we want to activate this sales target for our data number 2. Okay, you go to sheet number 1. Okay, when you go to this sheet number 1, then only you would see just this. Okay, the data set that you are actually connecting with. Okay, the current one is actually connecting to sales target. If you click on list order plus plus another table just now, right? Okay, you will see the list of the tables. Okay, the list of the list order and also order breakdown. Okay, so now go back to the data source. We will rename it. Okay, we will rename it list order plus order breakdown, so that you know that, oh, okay, so this is the data of list orders that already combined with order breakdown. Okay, this one is already combined with order breakdown, and then you just enter. Okay, so how can we move on to the sales target just now? Go back to the sheet and then activate the data base of sales target here. Then go back to its data source, okay, to connect with its data source where it comes from, the source of the data. So now this one is connecting to the data number 2, where you want to rename it as only sales target. And enter. Now we will see when you go to sheet number 1, you will see you are connecting to different database actually, even though they are coming from the same file. Get me, eh? Okay, even though they are coming from the same file, it doesn't matter, but now we are actually wanted to do a blending. Okay, 10:45 already, what? Flies really fast. So this is actually the, I wanted to do blending. Oh no.
Yeah, it's okay, doctor. We can go on for 10 more minutes, just
Yeah.
until 10:55.
Ayo.
Yeah.
Sorry, Samira.
It's okay, doctor.
Okay. Okay. Because this one is recorded, right? So I hope that later they can play back the video. We wanted to continue. Okay. So now we go list of order. Where are we now? So numbers already, right? Okay. So we get this list order. Activate this list order. Can you hear that sounds? Because they are actually working with the toilet. There's contractor there. So working with the toilet. So okay, get the order date. Okay. From list of order, get the order date and then put it on the column shelf. Okay, put it first and then get the category, category from order breakdown. Okay, from order breakdown and put it in the row. Okay, we are now doing the blending. Okay, we wanted to blend this particular data and also sales target data. Okay. Please bear with me with the different terminologies that we use, yeah, because maybe you are not really familiar, but this is the visualization terms that we often use now for this Tableau. And then again, get the sales that which is you can get it from order breakdown, sales rack on the row shelves. Okay, see how you can benefit from the two tables, from this order and also order breakdown, without combining it, without doing it manually through the Excel file. Okay, so now we have that. Get the category, color code perhaps. Okay, line chart is not that not that good. Try to change it to the bar chart. Instead of changing it through show me button, you can also change the marks here. Okay, change the mark here. Automatically or by default, it shows to us the line chart. Okay, it shows to us line chart. So choose bar instead. Okay, choose bar instead. And then if you notice that is aggregate to us yearly values. Okay, this is not what you want to see. Okay, maybe you wanted to tabulate it according to monthly value. All right, so how to change that? Okay, so this one is a column. So you see at the column shelf here, instead of choosing the year, so these are the level of different levels of granularity. Okay, so the first one is year. What about if you want to show month? Okay, look at here carefully. The first part is the different levels. Okay, let's say you choose this month. Okay, if you choose that month, it will give us the results of cumulative values of January from 2011 until 2014. If you choose the first level of granularity, is this what you want to show to your audience? Okay, if the answer is yes, then you can choose this level of granularity. Meaning to say, if you want to analyze, if you want to present your data in a monthly base from 2011 until 2014, the cumulative values, then you can go with this. But if it is not, change the granularity with the second level, okay, with the next level, which is monthly base for every year. Okay, so it will end up with a longer number or higher number of bar charts of the bars. Okay, but it doesn't matter because this one is what you want to present to your audience. Okay, this is what you want to present to your audience. So it doesn't matter whether you end up with a longer charts. Okay, wider charts, say. Okay, so now after done with that, because this one is already done with showing, okay, bar charts, etc., etc. So now we want to do a blending data. Okay, we want to blend this chart with sales target. Okay, with sales target. Now we click on the sales target. So this would be a secondary data. If you notice, there's the orange line, okay, at the end of the screen here. So it shows that you are now activating the second database. Okay, you are now activating the second database, but you want to blend it. Okay, whatever that the tables has, okay, whatever attributes that the tables has, you want to blend with the current charts that you have here, without adjusting the internal value. So it will not affect the Excel files, okay, the original file. Okay, so now let's move on with this. Okay, get sales target and then get the data and edit blend relationship. Okay, go to the data, choose blend, edit blend relationships, and it will pop up the Windows. Okay, so now the sales target here showing automatic one, it will go to blend category and category. Maybe you can change this one. So by customize it. Okay, we customize the relations lah. Okay, the relation that we want to have. Okay, so now we get the we add order date, maybe months, order date. Then okay. Okay, here also months of order date. All right, next we want to add order date as well. Because the level is different, so we need to pick, okay, months and also the year. Here, choose the year and then okay. I think this one is need to be edited. Hang on. Okay, get the month of order date. Okay, just now, the first one, the first one is actually month order date, and then choose the right hand side one is the month of order date. Okay, let me do this again. Okay, sales target, and do it again. Month order date is one, month of order date here. Okay, so we'll end up with having these three categories, with three attributes. Months order dates and also months order date, category, and also yearly order date. Okay, now we are done with this. Click OK. Okay, so now you have already done with blending the data. Okay, we are setting the relationships basically. Okay, you are already done with the setting relationship. Okay, so now get this category. So see that's the linkage over here. So you can use this as the linking field. Okay, so these two, the month or the date and also the category as the linking. Okay, so now we can have this as well. Okay, in here, note that these categories are actually taking from the first database, from the list order and order breakdown database. But now we wanted to use the category from sales target. Here from the sales target. Maybe color. Oh, we've already done with the color, sorry. Do that. Here we have some sales and target get zero. Okay. Okay. Get the sales target and then put it on the row. Sorry. The sums target. I mistaken it, right? Okay, this the target. Okay, get the target and then drag on and put it on the row shelf. Okay, so now we end up with having this 4. Okay, months order date, which is the order date for targets and also the first database will be similar. Category also will remain similar because they are linking both data, right? Okay, and the sum sales also at the moment is we are calling this we are actually calling this sum sales from the list order and order breakdown because the sales target only have the data about the sales target, okay, not the original sales or not the current sales. Okay, so now what is happening over here? All right, so what we wanted to do here is, okay, click on this say sum target and then change it to line chart. Okay, change to line chart so that we can see the difference between the two. Okay. Now we have different color code. Try to get different color over here. For the category. Okay, get the category and put it on the color code so that we have different one. Got it or not? Maybe. Okay. Okay, later we try to change it later. If you don't want to see this legend, okay, on the right, so we want to make the canvas here wider. So you can always move this bigger legend, move it to the left or at the center so that it will become wider graph on the canvas. Okay, especially when you have a very limited this one. Okay, limited screen. So now, what I wanted to do is that in here, I want to make it a combo or dual graph. Okay, it's either way, it's either sales or target. You can just activate it and then right click. Okay, click on the dual axis. Click on the dual axis so that you would see every category will have the sales on the left and the right is the target for the legend. Okay, for the labeling for the target is on the right and the labeling for the sales is on the left. Okay, but if you notice that the sales and the targets have different interval. So this is not right. Okay, it's not right. So what we can do is that we try to synchronize the axis. Okay, it's either you want to follow the target one or the sales one, it doesn't matter. So now let's have a look. If let's say I choose this target, okay, right click. Okay, right click and then synchronize axis. Okay, get the synchronize axis and then click on it. So it will follow the sales interval, which is goes to 20K interval. See, so in here we can see that the plotting of the target will go very nicely. Okay, from first month of 2011 until 2015. So this is how we can do dual axis or dual charts, yeah, or we call it as a combo charts. Okay, you can always change the marks of your charts by changing it from this particular marks. Okay, but be careful that you are now actually you are activating the sum target. Okay, let's say you want to change the sum target with the area. Okay, like this. Right, so it will change it to the area so that it will be nicer to be look, maybe. Okay. Okay, so the positions here is also important. If let's say, because now the sum target is in front, okay, to the far right. So it will be on top of the sale. If you want to highlight on the sales, you can change the position of the sales, okay, the sum sales to the far right, so that it will show to us the bar chart on top of target. Right. On top of target. So the positions here play roles as well. You cannot just simply put it there. Okay, so I think that's the end of our session. Sorry for taking for extending it to 15 minutes. I hope that I can have more time to share with you. Okay, I think that's all for today, Samira. So I hope that you enjoy playing around with this Tableau, and I hope that you could always play back the videos. And I hope that the sharing about a good charts, okay, that can open up your mind to produce a better charts to make sure that your audience can grab what you want to say to them. Okay, all the best for your thesis writing to those who are now at the writing stage, and all the best to also my students. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you for such an engaging and informative workshop. I'm sure we've learned a lot from your expertise in data visualization and Tableau. If anyone has any questions they would like to ask her now about data visualization or research or specific to Tableau, you can raise your hand or type it in the chat. We have just a few minutes. If no questions, then okay, can we share that? You guys can on your cameras for us to just take a quick selfie together, and then we will go to the break.